What up, and welcome back to another Ramblings in the Basement. It's your boy Theory.
Not.
Ivancito.
Peter.
And Peter.
Just Peter.
Yes, sir.
The guest.
And, yeah.
So,
Is that you?
our
Who
lizard
made that
people
noise?
in the-
Right. I don't know. I was looking around. I was like, where's that noise coming from?
What noise was it?
Hello.
Oh, that's you.
Bro, just
You move your
yeah,
mic
you can't
around.
be fondling the mic,
I
bro.
was like, where's that noise coming from?
All right.
What were you just talking about?
Do you want to do this again?
Nah.
We can just edit it out or just leave it in raw.
Nah, this thing in, we
Oh,
always go
we're
raw.
leaving it raw.
We raw dog everything. It's like, that's how it's always been.
I mean, the point is
And-
to ramble. you
Yeah,
know?
we always ramble.
It's just the beginning is always awkward. I don't know why.
It's because we don't have a topic
Y'all
like
make
that.
it awkward.
But
Yeah.
we can get back into what we were talking
Staring
about outside.
Nah.
Alright, we're
No.
walking out.
No.
We're walking
I'm
out.
putting my foot down there. That's a negatory right there.
Well, it depends on what we were trying to bring up.
Well, we were talking about outside.
Ah.
No.
Yes, we are.
It could be different.
You weren't even there.
Yeah, it could be something else.
Yeah.
We're talking about a movie, a short film that we might put together
This
Okay.
this is the
okay.
greatest idea since Lilo and Stage.
since Lilo on stage. Okay, so for context for the listeners, we were smoking before the podcast. We all rolled our own joints and we were getting high as shit. Then Yvonne and Ronnie went off to have their own conversation. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. But me and Peter were having our own conversation. And this man's brought up the idea of going back in time
Yes.
and giving Spartans guns
Yeah.
so they can conquer the world.
Let me explain.
Go ahead, elaborate.
All right. So when you're high, your imagination is like better. This was hilarious to think about. Okay, so imagine, right? You go to some like pawn shop, right? And they got a bunch of guns, and you got like, I don't know, you got like 10 grand, right? So like, boom, you get hella guns, right? But it's not that expensive. Okay,
Yeah. You can get some pistols for like,
how many guns do you need to arm the 300 army?
oh shit.
Like what? 500 guns? That ain't that much. I can go to the hood with a magnet and I'll
I
get
would
that many
assume
guns.
300 actually.
Exactly, but
500 is excess, actually.
it's excess. But like the offers to be pistols, you know what I mean? There's
This dude asked her, you really did say how many guns you really need to arm 300 guys.
no, it was supposed to sound. He knows what I'm talking about. The way I explained it, it was like more theatrical.
300.
I understand what you meant. I understand
Yeah.
what you meant.
Gotta have backups, you know?
But
Yeah.
You could let some of the motherfuckers run out there with 2 pistols, huh?
Hey, you don't want to dual wield.
but imagine like pawn shop guns, nothing crazy, but like some ARs, some shotguns, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You spend like I don't know, you spend like 10
Strapped
grand.
up Spartans.
Yeah. You go back and you go to Caesar and you're like, yo, this is a Colt 45, you know, a big faux 5 pistol, right? He instantly becomes like, I don't know, he was a senator, now he's fucking president of Athens. You know, you got like an 8-bullet gun.
Y'all, you are
You know what I
mixing
mean?
this up so
It's
hard.
gonna take over the world. That's the point.
I know, Caesar is Greece, and Athens is not even Sparta.
Caesar is Roman.
No, Caesar is, he is Roman.
They all gonna
Spartans
die.
are from Sparta.
They all get smoked.
Yo,
That's all that matters.
It's because we're gonna go to the time machine, go there, and then go to the other.
Yeah,
You know
we got-
what? In
yeah.
this
Time machine.
Yeah,
we all get
I'm-
smoked.
it's
a new timeline. It's a new
Hitler
timeline.
No. I was just making everything
Hitler already
smaller so
has
people
it.
can understand. But he's right. It's a big movie. But yeah, you get the guns
It's a
from
whole
like,
new
Hollywood,
timeline.
Hollywood, I hope you're listening.
Okay.
5-hour movie.
You get the guns at a
It
pawn
is a
shop.
trilogy.
A shitty pawn shop, so the movie's funnier, you know? And the person you buy them from is like Southern, and you're like, what do you need this for? And then the guy's like, to save the world. And she's like, oh, you're a funny kid, you know? And boom, gives them.
You're getting your background check. You're getting your background check if you answer like that.
No. Dude, I've literally told people while I buy guns, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, the man, you know, big brother. And they're like, right on, brother. Let's get the man and scare them from fucking with our rights. Like, I love those people. I don't know how they have jobs, but they're just hilarious. But yeah, one of those people is like in the movie, and he's selling the guns to like you or whatever, and you go back in time, and you just arm these Spartans, and you have like shitty guns. This is the funny part about the movie. You have like lever action rifles, and these guys are automatically God. You know what I mean?
Are you gonna teach them what to do if they jam, or are you just gonna let them raw dog it?
Raw dog. It's even funnier. You know what I mean? They're like, what is?
Let them figure it out.
They just start using it as a weapon, like
Throwing them.
Yeah, literally.
Use them as a spear.
You know, like they. Okay, I don't
So
know.
wait, well they have bayonets then. 'Cause
What?
I think we gotta make it a little fair.
No, they only have straps.
Okay.
So they
auto,
just
like-
obliterate.
So if the gun jams, then it's just straight
See
hands.
them better. No semi-automatics, only automatic.
Gunning down the whole army.
like they have pistols with like 8 rounds, only full auto. Figure it out. I'm out.
I feel like they wouldn't fare as well because they spend their entire life training with them shields and spears, and then you just hand them a gun. They're not gonna be able to shoot for shit.
No, the movie's gonna make it like work.
It's gonna make it work.
Hollywood
Yeah.
magic.
So there's gonna be a training arc then.
Yeah. A whole week.
Yeah,
like,
montage.
no,
A
no.
whole week.
Yeah, exactly. It's a week long, and you just arm Spartans with AK-47s, ARs, everything's automatic. Like automatic revolvers doesn't even exist, but
Automatic
we give it to
revolvers.
them. You know what I mean? And we give them a week to figure it out.
It's gonna be like the
drum
Mulan, it's gonna be
magazine
like
on
the
there.
Mulan, the Mulan scene where they like bring the army.
Yeah, 20 of them died because we're giving guns to people that.
Well, there's got to be a dramatic effect at somewhere in the movie. Like
It has to be
someone's
singing.
got to make
It has
the
to be
fans
singing.
sad. Like someone's got to be able to save somebody. There's
You're
got to
right.
be some feeling of danger.
Yeah, there has to be
His,
singing.
his gun jams and he doesn't know what to do. So
That was my best friend.
Here's the funniest
he
part.
gets cornered. He thought he was good until his gun jammed. He's like,
Okay.
fuck.
So we did the training in a like clean.
They never
place.
knew that the mags weren't bottomless, so they all just run out of ammo immediately.
Doesn't know how to reload. Fuck.
Okay. How about this? Let's make it realistic. These guys are fucking Spartans, but we trained them in like an area where it's clean, in Athens, No, not Athens, Sparta. But it's clean, it's nice. There's marble and
Well, in
shit.
this timeline, we can mix it up however we want to.
But guess what?
They moved to Athens in this timeline. That's
Okay,
what we're
but
doing.
guess what?
Maybe
Guess
took
what?
them there.
Yeah, we
They've
brought
already
them there.
taken Athens.
So we trained them pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But like, we have a week, bro.
Did we show the training arc?
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah, we show it. Is there like a dude like Yvonne is
That's what I
training
said. It's 5
Spartans?
hours. It's
Like,
a 5-hour
it-
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 hours.
It's a 5-hour
It's
movie.
a Netflix show. It's 5 episodes.
Yo, on that
There
note,
you
my
go.
stepdad used to make us sit down and watch like 3-hour, 4-hour movies, and I would be so fucking done by the end of it. Like, he'd be like, yo, why does everybody fall asleep? And I'm like, no one wants to watch these long ass
Well,
movies.
they would want to watch
I don't know,
this
if
long
it's really
ass-
good, I don't mind, but I can see.
I'm not
Dude,
I'm not
sacrificing
saying
half
to a
my
5-hour
day.
movie.
No, I am. Zack Snyder's the fucking cut. Yeah, 4 hours of goodness, son.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm gonna have to have an intermission halfway through or something because I'm not sitting through the whole thing.
I'm pausing it and then coming back to
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
another
saying.
day.
Like I'm gonna have to have
But I
intermission
feel like
halfway.
episodes would be better than
That's what I'm saying. I like it when it's in an
whole
episode
season.
format.
if we have a whole
It's gonna
season.
be a whole show.
Okay,
Netflix,
so
you better be listening.
we forgot to teach them how to clear weapons. Like if
What
there's
Disney?
if there's like a malfunction, everyone knows how to clear one. Not everyone, but like people that aren't into guns. We don't teach it to these motherfuckers. Like the one thing we forget, right? So like you have the lead of Sparta. We gave him a fucking saw, machine gun, like a full auto Betfeld, and he just feels like he's God, right? Little does he know these jam kind of easily. They're open bolt, And he just leads forward, like there's like 30 horses, dudes with AK-47s and rifles, and he feels like a god, right? He just shows up there, 3 rounds go, jams, just get obliterated with arrows, just murder.
And that's how the movie will end. That's how it'll go into part 2.
Part 2,
Yeah.
we bring them into the future.
We go back. We have to start all over. We have to
This
start all
was
over.
the good movie. Okay.
Now we gotta start this season 2. We gotta start
Dude,
all over.
I was gonna make the first one work. This one works on its own.
Season 2.
We bring these motherfuckers to the future, right?
Yeah.
To the future.
We jump into the future after the first movie when the king dies.
Exactly.
Don't explain anything. He's like,
Actually, no explanation. Imagine this is a new movie.
The screen goes black
We-
at the end of the
Season
first
two.
No,
one.
just imagine this. Season 2, but it's not.
Yeah, not part of the whole thing.
We haven't
It's
written
a
it.
different timeline, actually.
No.
I feel like it would be better. if we
Everybody
went down
wait.
that route.
I think that would actually kind of work. But everybody wait. We go to Sparta and we're like, hey, we're gonna give you like gold or whatever the fuck you want. Here's some virgins. Like, here, like we're gonna make you guys, pay you for something. They're like, okay, what do you need? We're like, we need to take over the world. And we're like, really? Yes. In the future, there is a world where these aliens have taken over, and they wear hoodies and sunglasses. You'll be able really easy to spot them. They all look the same, and it's just us. We all wear the same style, so they think we're aliens, right? And we're like, they look just like us, but don't let you be fooled. You guys are smart. I'm sure you guys can tell people from aliens. By the way, we're dressed up as one of them, so like, the first time they see people that look like us is when they come to the future, right? So they get here and they just want to kill everything because they think everybody's an alien. And we tell them, hey, this is your first checkpoint you have to destroy. And this is like this normal police station in like this little small town. Like, sheriffs and shit, there's like...
worthy enough.
There's like 12 of them, half of them are women. The other half is like old retiree guys, like, hey, rookie, like those guys, nothing, no SWAT level, just a normal cop station, right? And we send these 300 Spartans, and they have knives and like machetes and whatever. Like we don't give them guns; these are the real ones,
I think
right?
this is where we add the plot twist, though, is because it was ancient times. We never knew this, but they were all epileptic. So like, when the lights went off, they just all started seizing.
It's just
And
all
that's
starts spazzing out.
Yeah, like
Really?
they never saw it coming because there were no flashing lights in there.
Nah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it does.
They get murdered by those 12 people, and it's hilarious.
So they just all get gunned down. They just all get gunned down by the cops.
Yeah, literally.
But see, that's the same ending to the first movie. If you add that plot twist that they all had epilepsy, like.
Why would they all have epilepsy? First of all,
You
I
wouldn't
think
know.
it's just gonna confuse the audience.
yeah.
But
Like,
see, that's the point. You want to leave them into part 3. Like, you need to keep dragging this out for as long as
third
possible.
try. Let's go.
Season 3.
this makes no sense.
But see, that's the point of having new timelines every time.
Nobody will watch the third one and be like, this came out of nowhere. Why'd they have epilepsy?
We just kept doing new
Keep
timelines.
People keep
I
questioning.
think this whole thing came out of nowhere. At this point, we've lost them.
No, Spartans coming to the future and getting schwacked by cops is way more entertaining than epilepsy. Imagine like Caesar shows up like, and then like this little like 90-pound cop shooting her gun for the first time. She's shaking. Boom! Murder Caesar. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Caesar's just dead. Straight up. And everyone behind Caesar is like, holy fuck, this little tiny alien is like...
That's kind of how it happened in real life, though, with Caesar, because his son stabbed him to death. All the senators just sat there and
It was
watched.
Brutus.
It was one of his sons.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I just remember him being like, not you, Brutus. And then Brutus stabbed him again.
I think that was his best friend.
Yeah.
I'm not too well versed in that part of the history. I just know that the entire Senate just jumped his ass.
Yeah. That would be hilarious, imagine. Like, that'd be so cool if it happens like nowadays,
How do you
like,
think about the Romans? Do you
Dude,
think the
if
Romans would be
Congress
better?
just curb
Shanks.
stomped Biden, I would fucking I'd be cheering.
That'd be something to talk about.
that'd be
Dude, that would
hilarious.
add some whole other layers to this podcast. Like Biden just shows up
Get a
and Congress is
stomp.
like, I can't stand this
Gets jumps.
motherfucker no more.
That'd be
Gets
hilarious.
killed.
Imagine like people are holding his arms and you're just kneeing his stomach.
It happens. It happens.
Yo, this is
I
completely off topic, but
I don't think
Since
there
we're
ever
getting-
was a
since we're
topic.
since we're getting into politics, randomly, I just saw a video. Apparently, there has been evidence that has come out against George Floyd being killed by Derek
Recently.
Chauvin.
He was on fentanyl.
Yeah, like it's been proven now.
But
It's like they
that's
knew.
been known.
No, but there's actual evidence now that they've been knowing it. Like the federal courts knew that, and they still convicted. They still convicted the cop,
Plus, he was a horrible
knowing that he was innocent.
Also, the cops didn't do anything.
He punched
Yeah.
pregnant women. He was kicking doors down, like stomping them. Like
He has a history of being a criminal.
he's a horrible human being, and they named a school after him.
George,
George Floyd Elementary. After,
Yeah.
after
They
he
made
got killed.
statues for him. I think they made.
for being a bad guy.
Dude,
Murals
his
from
face
him.
was everywhere. Him and his fat ass face.
They were worshiping him like he was a saint.
I think the sad part of just all
I
of
don't
it
know
in
other
general.
God.
The thing that's sad to me though is that there are some real I feel like people that could really empower that movement, but those are never like it's never the responsible, uplifting, intelligent person that becomes like the person, like the martyr. You know what I mean? Is it always, it's like a joke on every angle, in my opinion. Is like every side of every culture, it's always the worst that gets put in the front.
Yeah,
it's never the best.
I was actually just seeing a video about a guy talking about that. It was a black dude talking about how like the black community be doing that, where it's like they worship people like George Floyd, and then they try to like down talk other black people who are like actually doing good for their communities.
Yeah, that are very uplifting and responsive.
Yeah, that's the person you would want to represent, like good.
We don't have them nowadays in Martin Luther.
No, we don't. Like we do, but we just don't represent them.
I just feel like, you know, the biggest thing is all this money got donated to that Black Lives Matter stuff. Like even the shirts. Like everyone had a Black Lives Matter shirts. Who profited off of that? Where did that money go? Where did that get funded?
You know what's hilarious?
She bought a mansion with it.
Did she?
Yeah. If you follow the money, she bought herself a mansion with all that money.
There's like 3 dykes.
It was all a scam, yeah.
There are 3 dykes. They're communists, by the way. But
Marxist.
Marxist, trained Marxist. But they became rich with capitalism by selling shirts.
But see, that's just the wild part to me, is none of it actually got given to the community.
It was all a scam.
Yeah. And like that's my biggest thing against it, is it's like no one that's actually aiming to do anything positive for that community ever seems to be the one that's up there.
Yeah, because there are people that are willing to actually do something. It's just that they never get the attention.
Like, and like that's the saddest part about it all to me. Is it's like it's
the accountability.
They either pay them off or they kill them.
I feel like there's like no accountability though, like at all. You know what I mean?
There really isn't.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like the government's trying to incentivize people to act up, like to
argue, yeah. Because what's funny to me is like
we're not even that, but I'm saying like they're trying to convince people to act like criminals. Like the way in California where like technically it's just a
misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor if you steal under $950. Like they're trying to like low-key incentivize people to act like criminals.
Martial law.
Low-key, I think they're like looking for an excuse to like enact something.
And I've
like
noticed that. Like they try to start problems in the media that really don't exist.
Do you know what the nuclear family?
Because they could do a lot of
because they've been like really encouraging like protesting, like that turned into riots. Like they've been really encouraging that kind of behavior.
And on top of that, there's always like whenever I would get on like TikTok, there was always like some thing that was going on that would get put all over my feed. That was like male against female, white against black. You know, different Hispanic cultures against different cartels, things like that. That it would just stem hatred among different groups for no reason. It was like force feeding you this negative media. Yeah. Because then I would go to work and I'd be working with people that are from a lot of these cultures.
Yeah.
And it's like
fine.
Like me personally as a white guy, I have like never actually had an altercation or a problem with an African American at work. So I get on Instagram and I see this media and it's like, this is all horseshit.
Exactly.
Like this is just happening between like 2 ignorant ass people.
Yeah, exactly. The internet just blows all that shit up.
Yeah, it's
it can
like,
just be part of some parts of what state or whatever.
Well, I think they like live in different worlds. You know what I mean? Like if you're working the same job as me, you're obviously like getting the same kind of money as me, and you're doing a lot of your same.
It depends like who you ask to, because there's some people that actually profit off of this shit, and that's why they try to keep it alive.
Well, that's true.
Negativity is captivating. When was the last time you saw the news about something that you like? That wasn't like, our team made it and they fucked up, because you know, like, oh, I'm so happy that Trump won, but he won by making other people lose, right? When was the last time you saw like the news and it was just like good, like nobody gets won over?
I feel like they try to put you in a state of fear because they want to be able to control
it's captivating.
mindset.
Think about it this way, because like the video I was watching about the black guy talking about the black community, he made really good points where he was saying like, if you listen to like the way black leaders talk to like their community, they will say shit like, we're still being slaves, like mentally, like we're not free still, and shit like that.
Because it's true.
Because they're trying to like keep them mentally enslaved with like this mentality where it's like they need reparations so that they can be fine. Whereas like, no, you don't. As long as you actually get your shit together, you can make it in this country. You don't need the government to take care of you. Whereas like they're trying to make them more dependent on the government.
But what's scary to me though is some of those very same speeches I've heard in those speeches that there's a black power movement, and like I believe in like equal rights, but like when I hear black power, that's just as scary as white power. to me,
Yeah.
is you don't want to go too radical with it.
Exactly.
So it's like no one ever goes that route without taking it too far.
And that's another thing that I've noticed about like the black communities, like with their black powers, like they're very closed off with their community, whereas like they want their community to be like exclusive to black people. Because I've noticed like,
And that's just
they
bringing
get-
back segregation,
Yeah,
which
'cause
is
I-
sad to me.
because I've noticed like with shit like there was a protest at, I think it was like a Middle Eastern chicks, I don't remember. The point is she wasn't black. It was this chick that owns like a salon where she would do like braids for black people. When she, they're like, that's a thing for like, that's like the black community. You're not supposed to like have this type of business. And like the whole thing was that like generally black people don't like sharing their culture with other people because that's cultural appropriation. And you see that hurts them more than benefits them because every other culture, like the Chinese people, they fucking sell their food to everyone. And that's why they benefit off of it because they're not being stingy about like, oh, that's just for Chinese people. You can't partake in that.
Well, even on the jokes of white people having no culture,
Yeah.
white people are damn good at going around and trying to experience as many
Yeah.
different cultures as they can, you
You're
know?
not wrong about
That's
that,
like
though,
just
yeah.
recorded in history.
I hate that when people say that.
What, white people have no culture?
That's
It
not
makes,
true.
It makes no sense. You know why? They say Americans have no culture, white people have no culture. All movies, like 90%
Yeah.
of the blockbuster movies, 90% of all media is
So, yeah.
them looking at our culture.
Yeah, exactly. The
Like-
only reason people say that white people don't have no culture is because that's the default. So that's just like what everyone defaults to if they don't have a culture because American culture has been, like he
Bro.
says, exported around the
The
world.
Well, that
yellow
is
bus,
true. It's because
the-
you've never seen like a German family speaking German being told that they have no culture.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
American is kind of just
The default
a
of the
It
world.
shit
becomes like a
show
global
of
culture.
culture.
It's just become a globalized culture to the point where it's like if you
Well-
don't have a culture, you just default to American culture.
Because it's easy, I guess, in the terms to move around. You know, as like me at least, it's very easy to like when I went to Amsterdam to be able to communicate with them because they knew I was American.
Yeah.
They knew how Americans are. You know what I mean?
Because,
And
yeah,
going to
because it's so
Belgium
globalized. Because
to do the
we
same thing.
technically most social medias that are global, like Facebook,
Oh, they're all American.
Instagram, they're all American. Like he said, all movies, music, all of that shit
Yeah.
goes globalized. So
Well, and
Like
it's
our
also
culture is
It's
the
just
most
become-
exportable. Like
Yeah.
our music is the biggest.
exactly.
Our
So it's
movies
just
are the
become
biggest.
so common that people just
It
don't
is
see it as a
our
culture
movies.
anymore.
Yeah. Like cars and all that shit, other countries make it better than us, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like movies, our culture, like okay,
Music.
this is this.
Well, the movies we make of
When
their
I-
cars are better than their movies of
when
those cars.
when I show my brother that because I moved to the U.S. when I was like 13, and they're all still there, like they have their own separate lives in Spain. When I was like, yeah, the school buses are yellow. And he was like, no, the fuck they're not. I was like, yeah. He's like the movies. I'm like, yeah, like the movies. You know what I mean? Like,
I've heard about like red Solo cups too. Is that other
Yeah,
countries
that's a
don't
big
use
thing.
red
Yeah,
Solo
yeah.
cups, so
Every
they come
movie-
to a party in America for the first
Yeah.
time, and we're using them because we're too fucking
it's
lazy to
cool.
do dishes.
It's cool.
like a big thing for them.
Like I see like American Pie when I was in Spain, and they all have like the red cups. And you come here and it's true. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in a movie. Like,
Yeah, bro. No, that's so true because that happens all the time. Like whenever we go to Mexico, they're always talking about American culture because that's what they see in the movies.
That's what they see. They're like, is that really how
They're
it
always
is?
talking about New York because everyone knows
see,
in Times Square.
but, like,
looks
yellow cab.
That's where I would
Everyone-
also
exactly,
say that it's not really a white people have no culture thing. It's American people have
Yeah.
no culture kind of thing. Because once you're here, once you're born here, it rubs off on you. Because like something that like I don't want to sound super fucked up, but even like if you're born here like you two are, you guys have better English accents than you do Hispanic accents, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with a lot of Hispanics that have been born here is that you guys just have like both the ability to speak both languages, but your accents have always been more lean
Well,
towards the American
I'll be honest,
style of speaking.
you're more American than you are Mexican.
Oh yeah. Oh
I'll
yeah.
say this,
100%.
what it's called. I think like every state has their own culture. as
Well, what
well.
I'm saying is most people that are born here, regardless of their color, their culture, is their
Yeah.
city or their
Yeah.
state.
I
It,
th- I
it
think-
never really has anything to do with their ancestry. Is that like
Yeah.
it becomes
where
a
you
very
grow- yeah, where you
Virginian
grow up,
thing.
right?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not really a white person, a Hispanic person, because like even like me and him, right? Like if me and him went to high school together, there never was let's go eat in a Hispanic restaurant or like a Chinese restaurant. Me and him would get out, go hang out go to a gas station, get like drinks that were from a certain country, or
It's 'cause
then
it's all
go to
kind
a
of blended
restaurant. It
together.
was all right there. It's
Yeah.
always all been right there.
That's the
There never
dope thing about the
was-
DMV.
Yeah, there's never been
Yeah.
a line. You know what I mean? There's never been there's no of this here.
You know how I
It's
feel?
always been, everything's been
Everything here,
everywhere.
Yeah.
You've been to Florida, right?
I have. I've been to Disney World.
Yeah.
Or Disneyland, whichever of the two is in Orlando.
There's this really cool
Yeah.
meme. There's this really cool meme, and there's like this kid, right? And he steps out of his car, he looks around. He's in the American suburbs, like Ashburn type shit, you know?
Yeah.
And he looks around, he's like, when you leave South Florida and you go into the United States. Bro, that's so true. When I first came to Ashburn, like first time I ever see a northern city, like so it was when it wasn't Ashburn, it was Reston. First time I see a northern city, I was like, this looks like a fucking video game. There's an area for horses. There's like an open-ended game. Like what the fuck, you know? Florida is just pine trees, fucking crackheads. Like it's Florida. Like it's so different from here, right?
It really is, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's why when
I've been to
Europeans...
Florida too,
Yeah.
like at an age where I'm like, without my parents, it's a different.
Do you play
like,
online at
culture,
all? Like
environment.
Xbox or anything like that?
Nah, I don't play video games.
So like when I'm online, I've noticed that a lot of Europeans will ask an American where they're from, and they'll say their state instead of America.
Yeah.
And I think that right there is a real big part on why there's more value in people when they say they're from their state rather than America, is because each state is so different that even Americans have different cultures in each state.
100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
And each state has
That's
its
what I
own,
was just
like,
saying earlier.
But you know what's dope about America? Americans think they're very different one state to another, which they are. But in terms of like the accent, the media consumed, and all of that is very similar all across the country.
Well, I wouldn't say
Oh,
the
I've
accents are
noticed
the
that,
same.
Yeah.
like, well, all across the country to a
Like
sense.
media intake. Like we all watch the same shows, we all watch the same
Yeah.
Netflix. Like Americans are very unified, and apparently that became a thing because of television. Because American culture was developed, right?
Yeah.
Around the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time
yeah.
as TV.
That is
So
true.
all Americans saw the same programs, and that's
Yeah.
why our
I
accents
think-
aren't that different.
Yeah,
Like-
because we saw all the same shows,
Yeah.
everything like.
There's
Well,
some
our
really
accents
different
can
accents.
also
Our
Like
accents are
very
different. Yeah, our
different.
accents
Yeah.
can't be different.
Because of the
Okay, the
slang,
Midwest.
the people, the
Yeah.
way
the whole
people
Midwest
speak.
speaks like Canada. All of Canada speaks like, you know what I mean? Like there's subtle differences,
Yeah.
but the Midwest sounds like the normal American, and there's like fucking 6 different states.
Well, there is actually
You know?
also another point to that. Is apparently during the Revolutionary War, we picked up the proper English. So the English we speak is actually the English England used to speak.
Yeah.
It was after the war that they refused to speak the exact same language with the exact same accent as us. And that's where the modern day English accent came from.
So they spoke the way we.
speak- yeah, we speak the original.
So we
language.
I'm
actually
sorry, but I don't
speak-
believe that.
No, it's
No, it's
true.
true.
I'm
Yeah.
serious. Look it up.
We speak.
We
We
have-
speak the original proper English.
So King James spoke like us.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
King James was like, hey, give me some water instead of water.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
like seriously.
Water.
This is how English
Well,
started.
Now
what
I
I
get
heard
it.
though was that the
Seriously.
king had like a lisp, and that's why he kind of like enforced that.
Well, think about it. When
Yeah,
you
like he had like a speech impediment,
Yeah.
and
When
so
you
he kind of like enforced it onto everyone else.
For
when
the-
you
for the new,
speak-
for the new English.
Yeah.
Hold up. When you speak this kind of
That makes
English, though,
sense.
do you
I can
force
see it.
any kind of accent, or do you just let the words
Yeah.
roll
That's
out?
how we say
Everything's
it.
an accent.
Now
For
you
you, it
guys
sounds,
say
for, you,
that
it sounds,
now.
for you, it sounds normal because you've always spoken this, and your vocal cords have adapted to like English sounding. That's why, like after 20 years old, you will always have an accent because your vocal cords are made for that person, that accent, that region.
Those tones,
Yeah.
essentially.
So for you, it feels super normal because you grew up with this. Your vocal cords are accustomed to English, but everyone has a very different accent from everybody.
Well, do you, as someone
Yeah.
that came here when they were 13, do you have to force an accent when you speak
Now?
English?
No.
No.
'Cause-
Did you
'cause-
ever have to, or would you just
For-
speak English? Like, would you just let it out?
What do you mean just speak English?
I guess like when
When I
like,
spoke
when I say
English, I had a super heavy accent because I just moved from Spain at age 13. So, and it literally, if you go to Mexico, right, as a Spaniard, you will develop an English accent only for English. So you can have a Mexican, right? Super Mexican Spanish, super English from England. So you have a different accent from everybody. It just
Well,
feels
I
like
mean, like,
normal for you.
So like when I say hello in Spanish, like when I go hello,
Saying you can have like,
like,
different
I don't-
accents of different
I
languages.
don't feel any of my like
Yeah.
English accent. Like I just simply say the word.
Like
if that makes
Spanish and
sense.
English. Yeah. Kind of.
Try to say like a sentence
So when
in
you have when you
Spanish.
speak in English, it's
I don't
you get
know
an
enough.
accent.
Ask
when
me
the- when you speak
where's the
in English.
where's the library?
How do I say that?
Have you seen Deadpool?
No.
Okay, say anything in Spanish.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, so there's a degree of English. Actually, no, that's an easy one. Say, me gusta comer enchiladas.
I can say me gusta enchiladas, but I can't say.
Enchiladas, right there, right?
Yeah.
You English is more like you don't think so.
You're
but
pronouncing the letters the way an English speaker,
Yeah.
like you would in English.
Okay,
Like
so
English.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
I feel like English is very gravelly, like very gravelly.
Okay, yeah.
Spanish doesn't have that. Hola, ¿qué tal estás? ¿Cómo estás? Like this doesn't.
Oh,
Like, I feel
they
like-
just keep
Yeah.
rolling.
This isn't
I feel
vibrating.
like a better example would have been like the car, car. Like if you say car in Spanish, you probably say
Car.
like caro,
Claro.
Caro.
but you have to roll your R.
I can't roll my
That's what I'm
R.
saying.
Exactly.
So you're pronouncing the R like you would an English letter,
Yeah.
like an English word.
You say caro.
Yeah, but see, that's also a problem too, because there are
That's
two
how they say it.
languages
Caro.
that derive
Caro.
from Latin.
Carro.
Yeah.
Carro.
So like that's also the problem, is it's so similar that it's not different enough.
Yeah.
Let's do it R like off.
I do. You'll probably be me. I'm barely learning.
Oh, okay.
You're learning, bro. You should know.
It's because, I don't
No.
know. Like I always struggled with
I mean,
it.
you have a speech impediment.
Well, what I was saying too is you can't do it either.
Oh,
You can't do it.
You do it?
I can do it once in a while. It comes to me and it goes.
He knows how to eat pussy. No, I mean,
No, but I think sometimes what the hardest time is to vocalize with Spanish is because I've noticed other words in other languages, I have an easier time just repeating what was said to me because they're so different. Like how Spanish was also derived from Latin.
Yeah.
It's so similar that like saying caro or however
Caro?
how y'all say that.
Say
If
it.
I walk
Caro.
up caro,
Carro.
caro,
You gotta roll your R.
Ca.
ro,
Ro.
caro,
Caro.
caro. But see, like, if I
Caro.
walk up,
Caro. Why
but see, like,
caro?
my point is, if I walk up to
Ro.
any Hispanic and go
Ro.
car, he's gonna know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So it's almost like they're so
how about
close
me? How about
that
me?
it's
Coche.
hard.
I say coche. I never say
Coche.
Oh,
carro.
you
Yeah, that's
speak
another word.
Portuguese,
Yeah, that's
don't
another
you?
word
No,
for
I
car.
speak Spanish. I'm from Spain. I speak.
Coche is
I speak
another
the
word
real
for
Spanish.
car.
Spaniard Spanish.
And for you to replicate my accent, it's very hard compared to his. Like,
Coche.
hostia, ¿qué tal, tío? Joder, gracias. Es que soy de Madrid. Hostia, tío, ¿hace cuánto yo no te vi?
They do speak with like a
Yeah,
lisp.
it's super fucking hard for you to speak what I say.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
I like it because when I watch Spanish shows, it's like Spanish. Like they speak it like Spanish.
When it comes to like Hispanic accents, I always love how the girls sound, but I hate how the guys sound. You know what I mean?
No, I know that.
Like-
That's the reason why I'm saying it
Yeah,
too. Like
like-
low key, like it's.
A girl from Medellin. Oh, I don't know how
But
they
I feel
talk.
like that's just how I feel about accents in general with every accent.
Nah, a Scottish
Like-
man
like-
sounds
like a
amazing,
fucking-
bro.
Okay, dude,
Like, a
I'm not
female
gonna
would be
lie.
speaking with a harsh Russian
Working
accent.
with a
I'm
Scottish
like, you know
or an
what? I fuck with
Irish
it.
man, you know, it just adds some light to your day.
Yes, bro. Okay, a Scottish woman doesn't sound that cool. A Scottish man sounds fucking amazing.
I don't know.
Okay, that's one exception. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. That's one
Scottish
exception.
women, they shake my soul. You know,
Terribly.
like
They
you
can
hear them
have-
yell,
but
and it's
terribly.
fun though.
No, but
It's like,
I'm giving him the exception for the male accent. I think a Scottish male accent is pretty tough.
well, same with Ireland too. I think it's just fun to listen to them
Yeah, I'm
speak.
not
dude.
gonna lie, you're right.
It's really fucked up, but
Yeah.
it's just fun. Like anything that's said in an Irish or a Scottish accent, as someone that speaks English, it's so much better than hearing someone from like Canada or Australia
You know
or
what's-
England. You
One
know
of
what
my
I mean?
funniest
Yeah.
Hispanic accents is, which is crazy because in my words very specific, but in yours is like the default. Mexican Spanish is so fun. It sounds like clowns that are like holding something that's really heavy. Órale, mijo, no. Like, ¿qué pasa, güey? ¿Qué tal todo? Mira, güey. Like, they speak so fast, and it feels like they're holding their breath, and they feel like clowns, bro. It's so funny.
I've heard that from the
You're speaking
Salvadorians
about the
and
Mexican
Guatemalans.
clowns.
Órale, güey, ¿qué tal todo? ¿Cómo
That's what he's
estás?
thinking about.
Yeehaw! Like, they sound like so funny,
This
bro.
motherfucker always.
Órale, güey.
Oh wait.
I wasn't
It's
with you,
tiny.
and then you started to do that little ending part, and this motherfucker's done that at least
It's-
like countless fucking times.
They have the same twang as Southerners.
Yeah.
Say I'm not wrong.
Well, they are Southerners,
Yeah.
technically.
Mexicans have a twang.
Why are you saying they? You too. Like, motherfucker, like leaving. He's like,
No, but
American.
he's from like the south of
Yeah.
Mexico.
Like
Oh.
he's Mexico.
so he's
He's like a
southern,
southern Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a son.
like he's the Mexico. I'm
Like
the
there are
Southern.
Southerners
Mexican
and
states are different, just
hold
like
up,
American
hold up.
states.
So like there's Southern,
That's true.
and then there's Georgia Southern. So is he like the Georgia Southern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's real Mexican. Like not that he's not, but
He's from the
if-
the heart of Mexico.
if you think about the
The
stereotype,
farmers,
that's
they're the
him.
farmers. They're like
Okay.
farmers. and all
Yeah,
that.
like he does.
well, his
the,
dad is. He's not.
do you know how to do the?
Oh, he does that. Oh my
I can do. I know you could do it.
That's why they're better with ours too, because like mariachis, that's in Guadalajara, and
Yeah.
that's like that they use a lot of
Please
that too.
do it, please
What?
do it,
Do it.
do it,
You can't put me on the spot.
please.
You do it so easily in my ear when I'm driving sometimes. Just fucking do it.
No, don't do it like that. You're forcing him. Do
Yeah,
it.
you're forcing me.
Do
fool.
it.
Do
Shit,
it.
I gotta,
Do it because there's a very special talent you have that many
Okay.
people don't.
if I don't do it good, don't
Let
okay.
it out of your soul. Give one to
If you
all
don't do
your
it good, we're gonna put you on
ancestors.
blast.
No, we're not, because none of us can do it even as half as good as he can. That's his fucking talent right there.
There we go.
God damn.
There we go.
That's a party trick, son. Yo.
Yo, we
Alright.
should have gave a headphone warning right there.
Bro.
But fuck it.
Nah, you just got ear raped.
That just
Take it. It's like,
Take that ear.
God
man.
damn, you just smoke movement
Say
into my
thank you.
blood,
Say-
son. Damn.
And I realized too that a lot of people can't do that shit. It's just like I was like, you really can't do it.
No,
They
dude.
sound weird. Like, like it sounds weird.
I
you got
can't
deep
do
voice.
it.
You got deep voice, bro. Can't go that high.
See, they get that twang. They can go so thin with their voice. It's so cool. Like,
So thin yet so thick. It makes no sense. Like when
Right?
you hear it.
yeah, I fucking love
It's
it.
not like it's like there's no bass to it, I think is what it is. Because it doesn't hurt my ears,
I just
but
told
it still
you.
shakes my ears.
So
Kind of thing.
when you speak English, this vibrate.
Yeah.
Every word you say has in it. Like I'm telling you, I promise you.
McDonald's.
Even cute words like sorry, re,
Yeah,
Spanish
there's
doesn't
always-
have that.
Okay.
Carro.
Si coche, ¿qué tal?
Coche.
There's no like it's just
It is a very light, it is a very light language.
yeah.
Like a soft, I guess.
English is actually a very heavy language.
It
I've
is.
started to realize.
Like my name in Spanish,
Not like German.
Peter.
Not like Germany or Russian.
Oh, that-
Oh well, it's not the heaviest,
It's
but it's one of the heaviers.
But
what
okay,
I'm saying.
my name Peter.
With that.
Spanish Peter. Hey
Peter.
Peter. Like it sounds heavy, Peter. Like,
Peter.
yeah.
Peter.
Like
Peter.
okay, Ivan. We're saying it in his accent,
Ivan.
but for us it's Ivan.
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 I've always called him Ivan though.
Ivan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
but it's the same thing. Look, Ivan. you
But I've
feel
always
that.
done it really heavier with that E in the beginning. Than
Ivan.
Hey
Yeah, like
Ivan.
Ivan.
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Ivan.
In Spanish it's Ivan. You're just like Ivan.
Yeah.
It really does sound like you're speaking a different language,
That's
just by
why-
making it softer.
And
That's,
then-
that's what I'm saying. Like, when,
Ivan versus
I don't
Ivan.
say Ivan.
Oh,
I
and
say
Ivan is like how he does it.
Yeah.
But
Ivan.
see, like
But the
that,
American was
Ivan.
Ivan.
but like here's what
But
fucks
it's
me up
Ivan.
though.
Yeah.
My name is
Ivan.
Ronnie,
Ivan.
right?
Ivan.
There's no like I in there.
On
It's
versus
Ronnie.
Ivan.
Yeah.
So like for me, the I is like silent. So for him,
That's why
it's
it's
just like
Ivan.
I kind of I
Ivan.
guess
your
pronounce
name
it
is
with
Ronnie.
an E.
Hey Ronnie. Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Ronnie, ven acá, Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Oh, don't
Ronnie
roll the
versus
R.
Ronnie.
That's so ugly.
But Ronnie's like
Ronnie.
Ronnie. You know what I mean?
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Get your ass over here, Ronnie.
English is like starting the car. Yeah,
Eduardo.
yeah.
Eduardo.
Like,
Eduardo.
have you ever heard like someone that's like is Hispanic but doesn't know English and how they talk? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it's kind of fucked up because it's like it'll be a man that sounds like a girl, and like I know he's never spoken.
Yes.
Like
Immigration, no,
it's
no.
like this
That's-
is the funny part
That's
though
like,
too.
it's like Vietnamese people. That
But,
would
like-
speak
Yes.
English.
Yeah.
But like you know how I learned this when motherfuckers would tell me like no English, and I'm like, bro, that voice is
I know
way
speak
too
English.
fucking deep.
Yeah,
No, I know
That
speak
voice
English.
is way too damn deep.
But it's not though. So like you say no. He said no.
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 Well, see, like that
See?
right
No.
there, I believe
No.
that. But when they're like no English, I'm like, bruh.
No English.
Yeah, you can tell.
You just straight up said no, English.
No
and proper,
English.
like perfect. Like
Yeah.
You
He's
can
like-
tell just like
he's
by
like,
the way that
you were not looking in the mirror
Hey,
practicing
do you-
no
do you-
English.
Do you speak
Like,
No English. No
It's like,
English.
do you speak English? No. Like,
I don't believe that.
No,
You gotta act like you don't understand a little bit.
No.
come
Me no
on,
English.
no.
No English.
Motherfucker don't even look
English.
lost like he's reading the menu. Like, just get the fuck out of here.
but I can do it. Nah, papi, yo no sé hablar inglés. I'm el bicho. No, I'm just playing. Did you guys know what that means?
Yeah.
I love cursing in Spanish near like American people. I always think it's about them, but it's not. It's about me being late.
Always.
I'm just playing. We're always talking shit.
Nah,
about that.
nah, that is true though. And I don't think it's just with Spanish, just in general. Every time Americans hear someone going off in a different language,
I thought it was always
They
cursing off or
automatically
like saying shit
think it's
about
about
that.
you
law.
talking shit, huh?
I've noticed that, like, with
Most
Americans.
of the time it is though.
It is,
like,
yeah.
Most of the time it is.
That's how I wonder when, like, with Koreans, when I go to Korean barbecue, a lot of them are just fucking Koreans or whatever they are, and like they're speaking in their own language. I was like, I wonder what the fuck they're saying.
I just got an amazing idea.
Well, I've also noticed with Americans, we only raise our tone when it's like time to fight. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So when Hispanics will like get really excited and say something,
Yeah.
when we hear them like raise their voice,
That's
them like to us. We break our necks because someone's getting ready to like go off on somebody.
Dude, when Americans,
That's
I just realized it. When
Asians
Americans
be doing it with just when
Because it's the
how you from the
tone.
restaurants,
Like,
they be yelling
think
at
about
each
it
other,
for me,
just
right?
casually.
Like, I could say things like "Don't be late," like, and I can get kind of aggressive with that. But until I actually start raising my tone, no one actually feels that I'm being aggressive.
But
I
it
can
sounds
say
aggressive.
I can sound aggressive. I can say aggressive things. But until I actually raise my tone, it's not when I'm not serious.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
you can't raise your tone in English.
You can,
okay,
bro.
okay,
People,
no, no, no,
yeah,
no,
you
but-
can, but people are
listen,
gonna
there are
think
It just means
consequences.
something.
Listen,
people are gonna think something.
if I hear someone Spanish, hola amor, ven aquí. Sounds so like cute, you know? You, hey love, come here. Like it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, love, I'm on.
And I think that's where it comes from. But you could probably say whatever you wanted to in Spanish
Yeah.
to me, but if you said it with a low tone, I'm not. It doesn't
this makes so
register
much
as a
sense.
I
violent.
think that
That's
goes
why
back
we
to the
yell
fact that it's
so
soft.
much.
Te quiero, amor, te quiero mucho.
Just see what I'm saying? Like that. The
Te
only
that's so
quiero.
true.
When you say te quiero, amor, it doesn't sound like you even love them.
Dude, exactly. Like, yo te amo, mi amor. Imagine being like,
quiero.
I fucking love you, babe.
That's so weird. You know what I
I fucking
mean?
love you.
Love you.
So
Love you.
That's why we do it then. Like,
I think-
I fucking love you,
love you,
reina.
te
Reina,
quiero.
But that
Mira,
goes
Juana.
back to what you were saying about the tone. Is it's
Yeah.
like it's really about like in English the tone is that like
That's why
once you
they
raise your
complain.
tone.
It's the whole.
That's why they complain about us being loud.
Bro,
They don't get it.
I like to see like a Russian trying to say some shit like that. Like, I love you, but like in the harshest accent.
Russians like never
Or like in German.
they're so soft
that was-
spoken, but it still sounds so harsh. Привет, скоро, and no,
They just sound
Yeah.
serious, is what I think it is. They're
Right.
just-
But it sounds
they're
no,
like
it
an
sounds
Somebody's
accent.
about to kill you, bro.
Well, like I feel like
Right.
their accent, the way that they pronounce their words, in most other accents, is a very serious tone.
Yeah.
So, like for them, normal speaking is like the kind of noise that we would use
Yeah.
to sound serious.
Привет.
Yeah.
So you think they're
Because, like, dude, have you ever seen two drunk Russian guys out in the snow doing dumb shit, and they sound so fucking serious, but they're just two dudes that are hammered out in the woods doing some absolute dumb shit.
Yeah.
Does that ever show up on y'all's
Nah.
Instagram
Nah.
feed? They sound so fucking
This is-
serious,
It sound
but they're
like-
out there
yeah.
wrestling bears.
You know what's
Like,
crazy? I see the complete opposite in like our like languages. I can hear someone speaking Spanish about the smartest thing ever, like it's literally such a like Einstein topic, and someone is talking about it in Spanish. I don't think it's that official. I was like, porque cuando Einstein estaba aquí, el centro del universo empezó
No,
acá.
100%.
It doesn't
I feel
sound
that.
official at all.
I feel that.
I
100%.
So
think-
wait, you guys
I
feel
don't
like
think they're
English?
smart.
Do you guys feel like English sounds more proper when
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah,
to like
100%.
medical or
100%.
science?
100%.
Well, I
Actually,
feel like that
Okay,
actually
hear
helps
this.
because like that goes back to like you know the whole Americanization. A lot of English people did discover and document. Well, they documented the sciences. They didn't discover it, but a lot of
And no,
Americans
I think
were the
that's
ones
what- I
that
think it has
discovered
something to do with
It's
it.
the language. Look, here, listen here. Babe, can you marry me? Mi amor, ¿te puedes casar conmigo? Like, it doesn't sound official at all when you do it in Spanish. Like really dope shit, or like
and I
smart
think
shit.
it all goes back to the tone. Is that
Yeah.
like this tone is the most like serious but yet like
No, that is true.
not too serious almost.
feels official.
It feels like you mean it.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
that's actually
there's-
100%
There's a lack
true
of
because-
emotion about
Because what I
it,
realized,
you know?
like when it is in Spanish, it doesn't sound confident to me. Like when they're saying
Yeah.
shit like that, you're just like, it sounds like you're getting this off of someone else. Like that's what it sounds like.
It sounds like you're a bitch. Like at all times.
It sounds like you got
Because
your
look-
information from someone else. That's
Look
what it
at
sounds
this.
like. That's the vibe I get.
Yes, sir. Now listen to this. Sí, señor. You sound gay in the second one, bro. Like, why are you calling a man like señor?
señor.
Like, what the fuck? But yes, sir.
Jefe, sí.
But yes, sir sounds like the fucking boss, bro.
And you don't even say it like that. They make it like I've seen the videos online. They make you get super deep. They're like, yes, sir, yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't they do that? Don't they do that in the Marine where they make you go even deeper with it? Like you have to force yourself to be
they
deep.
make it go deeper, but you yell so much that you end up with like, yes, sir. Like no, not like that. But like your voice is so dead that you sound like
Your voice is just gone.
your voice is just gone, bro.
Okay, so that's what it is. Everyone's voices are
Yeah.
just gone.
It gets gravelly too, so it sounds
Okay,
even.
that's what I hear.
But even like a girl, yes sir, you know, like a 4-year-old girl, that sounds more manly than like a Spanish Navy SEAL. Sí, señor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It does sound kind of just goofy in Spanish.
I think
It
it's
just
just
sounds
like
goofy to me in Spanish.
America's
You have to say it
television.
differently to make
You
it
know, I
fun.
think going back on that, it's just the Americanized
culture.
television thing.
Yeah.
It's because think about it too. Like even in all like our little fan stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
in Star Wars, right? Like I'll use that as an example. Like you know, like it all was like almost like American looked military style.
I think that
things
that
like
plays a
that.
part in it, but I think it does go back to the fact that Spanish is just such a soft language. Because like
Yeah.
it, like in this aspect, I feel like English is superior, like for sounding official. But like you go back to like like technically that's why it's like a love language because it's
Spanish is
softer.
beautiful.
It's like I think it does like has a big role in
Yeah.
it. It's just the fact that it's just a softer language overall.
You know, because I've also
It's like one
noticed
like, hey, baby,
that
something
calling like
weird.
Mi
Hispanics.
reina,
Mi reina,
mi
yeah,
amor.
mi
mi
princesa.
tesoro.
yeah, exactly.
Well, like,
you call a girl mi
Preciosa.
reina, like
Mi
that's normal. You call a girl
corazón.
my queen, that sounds.
Well, see,
like,
like, in
you
the-
sound trashy.
Well, and that's actually what I
My
was about to
queen.
say.
Yeah.
Like y'all will say "mi amor" to like your
My
loved
love.
ones way more than like it sounds weird to say "oh hey my
Baby.
love."
Yeah.
Like it's. But see, at the same time, you guys probably wouldn't call your girlfriend "baby" in Spanish.
No, yeah, we do,
Yeah,
baby.
Oh,
bebé,
you do?
bebé.
Yeah.
Bebe.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Well, how do you say infant or baby in Spanish?
Bebé.
It's, I mean, same as English.
Hey,
Really?
same
Same
thing, yeah,
word.
babies.
It's like,
Wait,
hey.
I've never heard that before, to be honest. I've always
It's-
heard "mi amor."
But it's always cute.
It's the most
And
common
If you
one.
put an ito behind any word, it's cute. Like gordita, negrita, flaquita.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden, you're not allowed to be offended. It's not an insult anymore. So,
like retarded. Ay, retardito. Like it sounds cute as fuck.
Gordito.
Retardito.
But see, like that also goes back on
Yeah.
the whole tone thing, because like to me, when you say things like that, like I can't take that serious.
Yeah.
But
Because
it
you
is
say you
it's
make a
love
body,
language.
it's like the body movement.
well, it's not
plus
meant to be
the
serious
smiling.
though. Like you don't say that
I
if
feel-
you're mad. You're not gonna say that
But,
in a heated
like,
fight.
like
But that goes back to
Curse
the whole
words.
raising tone thing. Like if I heard like
curse words. Fuck. It sounds mean. It sounds like you're angry. Mierda.
Hijo puta.
Hijo de puta.
mean,
Coño.
That's why people think Spanish curse words are funny. I feel
yeah, I've noticed too at like work, like we can't cuss and stuff, but if like the Hispanic guys just like drop something and they
Ah,
drop
me
one-
cago en mi puta madre.
Yeah, like
Puta.
no one bats an eye at that. Like it's just that like
It's
that's
just
another
words.
weird thing in American culture that like Hispanics can just like say some of the most god awful shit in their language.
And no one understands.
And if we said it in English, we'd be like fucking fired or like
We-
suspended.
we
you know
spoke
what I
about
mean?
this
just
last
geeks in
week.
Spanish though.
We spoke about this last week, how Hispanics are openly racist and they get away with it so easy. You know what I
A
mean?
lot of race, but yeah.
I'm positive. You don't have to say who, but there's someone in your family that's a little older than 40 that has referred to a black person as mono.
Oh, I think I know
Oh,
who you're
oh,
talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah. No. I don't even know his family, but I'm saying like it's likely.
Every Hispanic has had that.
You can
Yeah.
tell by my
Family
reaction
member.
that there is someone in his
Oh, I know.
family, and I've
No,
met
but
her.
it's every family, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Oh,
Mono, yeah. Ah, pinches monos.
oh shit.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hispanics
Yeah.
be racist as
Yeah.
fuck.
We've
for
been
no
walking
reason.
that fine line the
But you know
entire
what?
podcast,
Honestly,
and I
I'll
feel
be
like
honest
we
with
just
y'all. I'll
crossed
be honest,
it.
y'all. I don't think there's a problem with racism as long as you don't act on it. Like if you're just making racist comments, like There's nothing really
Yeah,
wrong with
I
that.
do think there's a big difference between sounding ignorant and being racist.
Yeah, like
being ignorant and then being racist.
as long as you're not like doing anything to harm them, like
There's a big difference
doesn't hurt
between
them.
someone that goes outside and
Okay.
just spouts some ignorant shit and someone that actually sits there with like the flags and the guns and
Yeah.
starts plotting on shit.
yeah, that's
Like
where it's
someone
like,
that
okay,
just goes
He's a
outside
true
with their-
racist right there.
yeah, that's when you start like
He's funny.
investigating.
Bill Burr made like a like one of these. I don't think it was Bill Burr. It was someone else. But it was like racism is like kind of like hunger. You're not always hungry. You know, it just happens because of the occasion, right? If it's nighttime, you know, and you're in a city that you don't really know, you know, he's a little darker. Ooh, you know, you might be a little more skittish, right? But it's like hunger. It happens during the thing, you know. But if you wake up and you're eating breakfast like fucking Jews, like you
That's
really are
when you have a
racist.
problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look, I'll be
I
honest.
hate the Jews.
Like, and it's not even like a real racist
That's the
thing,
fucking
but
sniper
we
rifle
were
just
going
looks
down
like
the highway the other day, and I look over, and there's a Muslim girl driving a car, and I'm like, oh, whatever, like, it is what it is. I live in the DMV, like, everybody from everywhere is here. Well, she pulls up, and I notice that she doesn't have an inspection. So we drop back a little bit. She doesn't have a license plate either. Like, we fall way the fuck back. And, like, it's not even to be fucked up. She probably, honest to God, she probably didn't know that her, like, she needed a license plate or something.
It is so funny.
But, like,
it's so funny 'cause
my
it's
gut
true.
feeling was just like, nah.
There was
You know what though? And I have a question for y'all. Would you rather have?
plates or especially
No plates, no inspection.
Dude, wow.
I can see right through. It's like an old sedan.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sound fucked up, but kind of like you said, when all the stars aligned, if you're a little nervous, you're a little nervous.
You know
Yeah.
what though?
Like,
that didn't hurt
it was
her.
just
that
all
didn't
the-
affect her. So it's like at the end of the day, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, like I didn't chase her down. I just didn't want to be within 7 car lengths of her
But
in
I
any
have a
direction.
question for y'all.
I feel like after 2 a.m. everybody's racist.
That would be a little racist sometimes.
You know, like outside,
question for
like
y'all, though.
Everybody's worried for the
Or I
safety.
guess
though.
mostly for you guys.
But that's crazy though. In other states, even if it's 2 a.m., they don't have to worry about anything. They
What do
see
you mean?
people on the road and nothing will happen.
Bro, that's
Wait, if
low-key-
I'm
that's
in
low-key here.
Baltimore
That's
at
low-key
2
here.
a.m.,
Yeah, and 2 a.m. sometimes,
Yeah.
like
Fuck
nothing.
no.
yeah.
I know some.
Here?
I think the
Here's
crackheads
chill.
in DC are fun at night.
Bro,
Like,
yeah,
it's
I'll
fun
be
to
driving
listen
like
to
at
them.
3
They're
3 a.m.
so
out here.
crazy.
It's fun to
okay,
listen
where
to
we
them,
live,
like
yeah,
their
yeah, I
political
agree.
That's what I'm
views and
saying.
shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
Here.
This is a great part. Oh, you guys can keep talking. I'm having a conversation. No, I'm just playing.
I have a question for y'all though.
Let's hear it.
Would you all rather be a friend with someone that's really nice to you, to your face, but he's secretly a racist, like actually racist and like commits acts of violence against your race?
Wait,
or-
if it's other races, I'd join them, but
Or
like.
would you rather be friends?
I'm always down for the homies, man.
Or would you rather be friends with a guy that's part of the KKK, but he's chill with you and he's always taking care of you. He's always got your back.
They're both the same one. What are you
They're
talking
both the
about?
same
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There is no difference. Like it's the same
still doing
thing.
The guy from the
Magic.
KKK, no, he's not. He's got your back. He's not actually. He's just.
Oh, he's not against you. Dude, that's still the same shit. What the fuck?
He's just openly racist, but he's actually got your back.
Oh, an openly
He's a
racist
good
is
friend.
always less dangerous than a
Than
a
a secret
closet
Because
racist.
I'll take them any day. I would take the
Because-
open racist as long as they're like a good person.
You
Bro,
just described the entire Marine
Eduardo.
Corps, bro.
Eduardo, how
They
many
got your
times do you
back.
see at like these
Racist.
KKK
Like, no,
rallies
it's
where
so
skittish
racist.
black
So
people
racist.
just like they won't go around there? You know what I mean? Like openly racism.
At one time, you know, Sid.
it's not dangerous because people like will
So-
go
Well,
clear.
no, because
they steer clear.
The reason I bring that up is like,
Save it, bro.
unless they're down
have you
to
guys
fight.
have you guys seen the guy, the black guy that interviewed a KKK leader?
I have.
Yeah, that's like what I was thinking when I came up with this question. Where it's
I
like
fucking love that guy.
he went up to talk to the leader of the to one of the leaders of the KKKs, and he basically did an interview, and the guy, like the leader of the KKK, he basically said that at least in modern day KKK, what they believe in is just basically segregation in a way, where it's like they want to have their community living separately from black people. At this point, they don't even want to harm black people; they just want to live their own separate life. So that's why I like thought like this question, like, would you be okay with a white person that's just like they just want to live their own separate life, but they're
He just wants homology.
he just wants to like live among white people, but when you're
Wait,
hanging
is
out with
he-
him, he's got
feel
your
like-
back. He'll take you out. He'll take you out for food and whatever.
Yeah.
he got your back. He's a really good friend.
You're just describing one of
He's a
my
brother.
Marine Corps friends.
He's like a brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend in the Marine
I would
Corps.
rather be friends with that guy than someone like fake liberals that like they pretend like they're friends with you, but in reality they're talking shit behind
They
your
just want
back.
race
Yeah.
And they're
points.
talking shit behind you,
Yeah.
and they're actually like
I'm
trying to
friends with
plot
a
against you.
Mexican.
And it's like I would rather be friends with an open racist.
I'd rather
That's
be-
like,
Can I-
hey, as long as you're just trying to live your life separate from me, that's fine. I don't care as long as we're trying to be peaceful about it.
Can
I
tell
feel
you?
like the whole KK, like what you're saying, the whole like they're just trying to have their own like live their own like.
And like, if
Yeah,
that's
go
truly
for
what
it.
they're for, then go for it. I
Go
don't
for
care.
it.
Do you know
But I
what
feel like a lot of
homogeny is?
other cultures do that already.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you know what homogeny is?
I mean, I feel like that also kind of ties back to like also where like a lot of black empowerment movements aim towards like having proper black communities.
Look at prison.
Like I see it as the same thing, you know, and it's honestly I think it's both wrong because that's not what America was built for. You know, if you wanted an all black society, then no disrespect, move to a black nation. This is an American nation.
Yeah, but that's where we also have our own community. We already have like Chinatown, where it's like a bunch of Chinese. It's like
Because
you
you
already
feel
have.
comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. Like you already have like areas where it's like,
As
you
long
can
as
have your
it's
own community.
open for
And it's
other places,
Yeah.
people to come through, right? Like, as long as that community isn't like if a black guy gets turned
That's where I
around
have
and
an
ends
issue
up
with
in
it, where
there.
it's like you start discriminating
But,
against people.
like,
this
if
is
you
the
just
thing.
want to live like secluded, and it's like you're secluding yourself.
If
it's
you
not,
want all
it's
your-
not like you're pushing people away. You're just
I
kinda
don't think it's necessarily wrong to like want all your neighbors to share a similar skin color. It would be
Okay, this is-
wrong if you committed like violent
That is
acts
something.
against people that
People,
walk through
yeah.
the community
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
things like that.
Homogeny is when the majority of the nation has the same racial identity, right? So nations like Japan, which has a lot of diversity, but when it comes to people that live there,
most people are
citizens,
Japanese. Yeah,
and they will never accept you. You will never become Japanese. You know what I mean?
Okay.
like you're not fully
But
Japanese.
see, that's
unless
not
you're
a nation I want to
Yeah.
live in.
Okay. But now understand this. Nations like Finland, Denmark, same thing, homogenous. They're almost all not only white, but like Nordic white. You know what I mean? These countries have a lot of peace because there's not that much conflict. Then you go to countries like England where there's a shit ton of Muslims, blacks,
That
there's
does- yeah.
a lot of crime, a lot of violence because it's not because of minorities, it's because of conflict. You know
It's
what I mean?
because of diversity, because
Yeah.
everyone has separate interests. They want to take care of themselves.
Look at the Balkans, like Yugoslavia, Serbia. These countries, they hate each other. They're all the
But-
same shit.
But the difference between that, but the difference between England and America is that we actually have like a foundation, whereas England, the whole unifying thing behind England was that they were all English. It's like America, the thing behind that supposed to unify Americans is that we're not all the same
Well,
race, but
as-
we all have the same ideals.
Well, we
We're all
have the
supposed to have-
same
Belief.
We're all
Yeah.
supposed to
the
be
very
working towards
begin-
freedom, towards the same morals, same
Well,
ideals.
it was that, but it was mainly the fact that you also got to think when America started, it was all the outcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't the, this big dream team. It was like Protestants
poor,
or
the
religious
people that-
communities that
Yeah.
were all being like attacked by all these
Yeah.
other countries.
It's the best nation in the world.
So
for that
what it
reason.
really became is it's not really any culture other than we've been kicked out of our own nation or that we've lost
Well,
rights.
that's
kinda
not
thing.
that's not entirely because that's like
No, one of the first 3 communities in America. I forgot which one. It was the one in Maryland. It started because that religious group got kicked out of England.
Puritans.
yeah.
The Puritans got kicked out of England. That's one of the first 3. And then the other one, the one that disappeared, Roanoke, they thought that they merged into the Native Americans. So out of the first 3 communities that started in America, one of them was outcasted
Yeah.
from their own community, and another one immigrated into one of the local Native American communities. This nation, from its very beginning, has never been anything but outcasting people that were willing to diversify. And to an extent,
That's what I'm
like that
saying,
was
that's
the
what I'm saying,
dream.
That's part of it, but
That
it's
was
not,
the dream. It
we had a
definitely
goal.
got
We had an
really
end goal.
bad. It got nasty with
that
nasty
makes it seem like
people.
we
was
didn't have an
always
end goal.
bad.
Like,
But it was the American dream. No, because
Yeah.
Virginia from the very beginning had religious freedom.
We're the first state, no?
Yeah, we're the first
Yeah.
state. Virginia started in the 13 colonies and
That's
had
crazy.
religious
But
freedom.
we came here with an end goal. Like you make it sound like we were just like outcasts and like we just came
No,
here.
not necessarily complete
I
outcasts,
wonder what
but it
people
was
learn.
well,
in
it was
other
people that
states.
couldn't make money too. They
Yeah.
came here seeking
to start
wealth.
to start.
They
well,
wanted to start
but
their own thing.
since
kinda.
the beginning, we've always
is true.
been formed for the idea of freedom. Like
Freedom.
you said, like
We wanted our
outcasts.
freedom, yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes this country different from other countries is that idea that we have this idea of freedom. And just like generally speaking, like we as a nation, as like Americans want like good morals, like good, like the traditional like American is like a God-fearing American. Like that's like the stereotype. It's like, right?
I want to show you guys something that's about.
Because like the idea is like we're supposed to we're trying to like create a better, I guess, society from what we're fleeing. Whereas like I feel like
that's what I meant.
But like
that is
other
what I
countries,
meant.
they don't have that unifying thing. Whereas like that's why even though like we're Mexican, we can feel American because we have this idea of like, hey, we want to build what's better, like build something for ourselves.
Like, and see that's what I'm saying is where like a lot of white people maybe came here because they were fleeing English rule. A lot of Hispanics come here because they're fleeing
So you're trying to, like,
cartels
build
or
something for
inflation or,
yourself.
it always came here that I wasn't shit in my own nation. Maybe if I come here and I work hard, that American dream
Well,
is
it's that
real.
ideal too, is that if you work hard, you can actually make something for yourself here. Whereas
They're
like,
now they're making it
Because kind of like you said, no matter how hard I work in Japan, I may not ever reach the 1%. Anyone of any race and any culture, if they work super hard and they have a lot of luck, they could reach the 1%.
Can we see this? And if they can't hear, we can just repeat the joke. It's about this.
it's a Family Guy.
Oh no.
It's a Family Guy short. I promise it's important.
This is relevant.
I love how one is fucking crippled.
This place is nothing but a wilderness. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna build a new settlement. We'll have a happy new life and we'll have equal rights for all. Except blacks, Asians, Hispanics, Jews, gays, women, Muslims. Everybody who's not a white man. And I mean white. So no Italians, no Polish. Just people from Ireland, England, and Scotland. But only certain parts of Scotland and Ireland. Just full-blooded whites. No, you know what? Not even whites. Nobody gets any rights. America.
Look, yeah, it was at first. But people use that shit to try to discredit like all of America. Where it's like
It all
we might have had
led
our
to
flaws. We
this.
might have had our flaws at the
America.
beginning, but the end goal is still the same.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like don't discredit everything just because we might have had a rocky start.
Well, all nations have had a rocky start.
Yeah.
But I feel like where America's issues get thrown in front is we are one of the youngest nations on planet Earth. Too.
And
A
what
lot
is
of
that?
people
I hate
forget
that.
that.
One of the oldest governments. The oldest government.
Because I hate.
The oldest government.
The
Like our government hasn't changed since it started.
Well, okay,
that's
so the
true.
oldest government,
and every other country has.
Well, and like that's the thing I feel like that really separates us from the rest of the world.
Well, we
have
had
one
a
of
pretty
the
good
well,
government
Eduardo,
set up
let
from
me
the beginning.
finish. We have a super young country. Like think about most countries. America's only been here for maybe like 300, 400 years.
Same thing as North America. It's just in the Americas.
And so no, because a lot of Hispanics still derive their culture from the
Spain.
Aztecs and the Mayans
What
and
about the
Spain.
U.S.?
What I'm
Oh, yeah, I
saying
guess
is
you're right,
we
yeah.
separated from England way before y'all ever separated from Spain.
What are you talking about? Spain found America.
I'm talking about South America, England, and Virginia.
Spain found
This has
everything.
always been English
No,
territory.
English.
I know. Oh yeah, England and Virginia is, but I'm from Florida. Dude,
So I'm,
Yeah,
again,
technically it's
I'm
South
talking
America.
about the
Yeah.
territories
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
from
yeah.
has always belonged to Spain longer than it belonged to England. Florida, literally, your example, belonged to Spain until America
long.
bought it.
yeah.
And
Same
so,
thing with,
Louisiana was part
Louisiana
of
was
like
France.
France.
so we're the youngest like nation in culture with the oldest government,
bought it?
like you
Yeah.
said, which
Thomas
makes us
Jefferson
very
or-
different from the rest of the world.
This is the only government
remember.
that try to limit itself,
Yeah.
and not in terms of like people trying to limit. You know what I mean? They're trying to limit the further generations, and it's almost impossible to get a dictator in this country. Like they have to work really hard to become a dictator in this country, and it will only be for 4 years.
And even if they
Maybe
did,
8.
they
Well,
would be at the will of the people.
That's
is
kind of
that-
where the CIA comes into play.
Exactly.
Because they're unelected, so it's like they get to stay in power for more than 4 years.
Why is Trump being indicted every other day? Like every other day.
They got personal beef with him.
What did he do? He fucked a porn star and told her not to tell the world. Like, what the fuck?
Well,
Like,
I think
he's like a rock star, bro.
There's something deeper going on with that. but we can't get into that because that's for a whole nother episode.
Stormy
That's a
Daniels.
whole
We've
other
been
conversation.
recording.
Okay, but real
About an
shit.
hour.
I love this.
Stormy Daniels got fucked and paid, and this bitch had to open her mouth. Like, he made her sign an NDA, and she opened her mouth, and then that became a crime against him.
Either
like,
way, I feel like that's not a reason to
put him in jail.
yeah to
Or
impeach
put in
someone.
jail.
It's like that's not legal.
What
It's like-
president
yeah.
was getting it in the Oval Office again? Well, actually, there were
Clinton,
several
yeah.
presidents
Bill Clinton.
that got it. Oh, no, because
Kennedy was a G, bro. He
Yeah,
made a
he was
fucking
rocking it
tunnel
up there.
into the fucking penthouse, into the White House, and he just had like a bunch of whores. And bro, that guy was a dog, bro. Just fucked, bro. He fucked Marilyn Monroe. That bitch would call up his wife and be like, "I fuck him better than you do, sis," and then she'd be like all crying and stuff. Like, it's so funny.
And he was in Call of Duty as well.
Was he?
Yeah, Black Ops.
Oh yeah, and he did that too.
Zombies.
And he made a
And they made an airport off of him, bro. That guy's and he took us to the moon.
And he
Yeah.
fucking got done.
He got shot.
Yeah.
So,
He's like Tupac. He did like all the things needed to be the GOAT.
And then got shot.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you're a rapper, you have to get killed to be the GOAT.
That's the only way you can end your career, and it's you don't die
And the
You
presidency.
don't ruin it.
Lincoln. Imagine if he would have stayed alive. You would probably fucked up eventually. I don't know, like get a case or something. JFK. He probably got like an adultery
I'm
case.
not gonna lie, Lincoln dying specifically because he freed the slaves made him a martyr. Like
Yeah, a martyr.
it recorded
really
him
did.
in history permanently.
It really does. Like
It
dying
literally
at your
did the
prime really does a
opposite
lot.
of what that motherfucker wanted it to do.
Yeah, literally.
Because it literally put him on our money. Like
Yeah.
you just can't not talk about him in American history.
You will never see Ulysses E. Grant or whatever the fuck
'Cause
that
think
guy's
about
name
this.
is on our money.
We literally, when we learn our presidents, we learn about the feats of our first president and then jump straight to our 16th
Yeah.
and then go to modern day. When you learn about your presidents, like we speak about Lincoln like he was almost George Washington, but we forget that was the 16th
Well,
president.
To be fair, he did. Even though like George Washington founded the country,
He was
after Abe, he was the first president. George Washington.
officially, yes.
Yeah, he was the first president.
He was, because he was also our first commander in chief. He led
Yeah.
the military.
No,
He was the first everything, bro.
They wanted to make him a king, but he didn't want to.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
It
was the
his
one
idea.
that
It
said
was,
no.
it was
Yeah,
his
only
idea
4
to do
years.
like the 4 terms
2 terms.
or the 4-year 2 terms.
No, he wanted to do 1 4-year term, and then I think that he succeeded or like made a deal to come back for another 4 years, but that would be the limit. And then off of that example, Congress kept that.
That's what's up.
That's a good idea, to be honest.
Actually, I think it's good and bad. Because the president has to focus on being a president, and then on the second half of his presidency, he has to focus on being.
Well, I think they could just add more years. 'Cause
Yeah.
In Mexico, they do 6 years. Every 6 years.
Well, that
And I
is
think
kind of
that's-
strange
I
because
think it
our
should be 6.
congressmen do 6 as well.
I think it should be 6. You know
'cause you
why?
can get a lot more done with 6 years.
Because
4
Biden
years.
is only going to focus on winning the re-election this year.
Right? He's.
And he's going to try to be like the peacemaker around the world, giving everybody money.
I know we're not allowed to talk about this, but like, can we discuss the fact that he never really campaigned for the last election? Like, how the fuck did he really win? I never saw him like doing any speeches or anything like that.
That's a rabbit hole you want to go down.
Like, this man never really campaigned.
I never saw a Biden fan.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody actually wanted to vote for him. And if you actually like look into some,
People
there's actually evidence for tampering with the election. That's why a lot of the tech platforms want to censor that shit.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
YouTube will shut your shit down if you start talking about election fraud.
Yeah.
Spotify will take your shit down. Like,
You
people
know-
might get this shit taken down.
You know Biden's
Because there's
son.
actual evidence.
You know about Hunter Biden?
His laptop.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
bro,
actual evidence
he's a
that Twitter
crackhead.
suppressed it. There's actual evidence.
Yeah, they did.
There's
Elon Musk
emails about it.
talked about
The emails came out about how the government was telling them to suppress that, and
Yeah.
Facebook too. I remember Zuckerberg came out on Joe Rogan's podcast and said that the government reached out to him to suppress the Biden laptop
And
stories.
he did.
And he did
Yeah.
because the government came up to. He said the FBI came
Yeah.
to him and told him. So he did.
You know
Like,
what?
there's actual evidence that they interfered with the elections.
I feel
But
like
we're not supposed to talk about this.
The
shit.
government just want to make us more degenerate, more unstable, so we have to depend on them. And I feel like one lady that lives with me, she works for the government. Like she talks to the president, like all that type of shit. I live in Ashburn. this lady is like legit. Like she's never home, but she tells me about shit, right? And literally, bro, she told me the reason why. So you know how like the black family was like a really strong father. Like the mother's an amazing mother.
yeah,
Takes care of her
It was
kids.
a psyops to destroy the black community.
Dude, it was like the black community was amazing, like a strong male figure. And look at black moms; they're fucking phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Well, like, and that's my point too. Is it's also
you know what
very
happened?
drastic.
You know what
now that you
happened?
point that out, when you meet families,
What?
it's either very
Yo.
deadbeat, and I mean on all across all
Yo,
the
yo, yo, yo.
entire spectrum. They're either complete deadbeats or they're completely involved.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the African American, because they're kind of similar. But in terms of this, if you talk to Africans, right, they have an amazing, strong family. You know, they're
They have a
Yeah.
very strong sense of
Yeah.
family.
Oh, you're
Better.
talking like
American,
actual
African
Africa.
American.
From Africa. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about both. I'm saying like this was the
Big
old
idea.
culture. It remained in Africa because it never got fucked by us, and this was the culture in the U.S. until this happened. I think it was like the 60s or 60s. They started giving money to houses without fathers, right? So it was almost like an incentive for women to kick the father out because she didn't need him anymore because the government will give you money.
Well, that's why we have so many single black females nowadays, because the government actually incentivized it high key.
Yeah, back then.
They're paying them checks. That's why I don't agree with the
Yeah.
government helping people and like sending free money if you don't like absolutely need it. There's like sometimes you're just incentivizing them to be lazy. Like when they're trying to send out chicks like the unemployment for COVID,
Yeah.
the stimulus.
A lot of people were working.
People,
because they-
some people quit their jobs.
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah,
getting a
no.
bigger check.
I know.
Some people are getting a bigger
I
check. to
remember
not
that
work.
at FedEx. 2 guys quit because they literally said like the unemployment was $800 a week at that time.
Yeah,
I like hardly make that working my full-time job now. It's fucking
and that makes
disgusting.
people depend on the government because now they quit their job. Now they're depending on
Well,
the
you
government.
want to know
check.
what's even more fucked up is they purposely got fired because you couldn't collect it unless you
Yeah,
had been
you had
fired.
to actually be fired.
It had nothing to do with being unemployed.
They like
You
to
had to
hire.
have been fired.
That's not true.
Yeah.
No, because if you quit, they made sure you couldn't quit.
Bro, I was in the
to-
Marine Corps. I got hella fucking money for my stimulus checks.
Because you're
No,
military.
but you weren't collecting unemployment.
No.
That's what
We're talking about
collecting
unemployment. And on top of that, you got to remember this is America. Y'all are privileged as shit in the military, at least in the terms of no. You know, if you have a military ID, you can buy tobacco at 18.
No, you
if you have a civil, yeah.
No, you can't.
Well, they'll sell it to you. They won't deny it to someone
they
in the
will.
military.
Say what? I've lived in plenty of military
Can't say
towns.
no to him if he's been.
Yeah, I've lived in plenty of military towns. Like alcohol, it's just even then. Like military towns, people think like, oh, you're for the cause. They look at you like a fucking brat. They don't give a shit. You are in the army. Cause
I've seen people buy vapes with military IDs that weren't 21.
dude, I'm telling you,
Nowadays, before the
if you go to
No, after. I'm talking about after that law changed.
if you go to a military town, they don't give a shit if you're military.
Oh, well, I'm not talking about military towns.
So if I'm like American, like dude, even me, when I went to Florida and I showed them like my military ID, the only people that care about that is cops. They're like, right on, brother. I used to be a Marine too. They'll give you a break. But if you want to buy alcohol, no, they're not.
I'm not
gonna.
talking about alcohol. I'm talking about tobacco.
Same shit. It happened to me. Like when I was in the Marines, I was like, "Can I get some dip?" And we would show them our military IDs just so like they know. And they'd be like, "Fuck no! I'm gonna tell your commander, get the fuck out of here."
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And I got in right after they made tobacco illegal to like 18.
Well, wait. When you were a Marine, where did you go?
I was in North Carolina and California
Oh,
and South Carolina as well.
Okay, that's the difference, then I think, because the guys that I knew, they do Japan and
Well, yeah,
California.
but that's different. Their law says you.
Well,
can
I know
smoke at
Japan's
18.
law is different, but I'm saying that California is a big place, so they probably know certain
California is
shops.
different too. I feel like
they're
they're so
the
liberal with
worst.
shit like that.
Nah, they're more stuck up on the rules because the government will rape their asshole if they sell tobacco to a kid. They're like
Huh.
super stuck up on the rules.
same thing with guns.
I guess the people I knew just
Like, yeah,
got
you can
lucky
steal-
then.
steal
Well,
so much.
a lot
Because
of-
they told me their whole battalion would do it.
It just really depends on the town, man. But that's crazy. I don't really believe that because that means like the whole battalion can snitch.
That's what I got
Yeah.
told. I'm obviously
Yeah.
not someone that served,
But,
so I
I mean-
wasn't there.
Yeah.
I can see like
That's
people
just
that
hearsay.
I feel like people that respect the military would do that, but a lot of people are not going to go out.
Well,
their
that's
way.
what I heard is
Yeah.
that you can get away with it more because a lot of people, like, once you pull out that military ID, you get a little bit more leeway.
You know what I think?
I think it depends where you're doing it.
As a civilian, being a vet is awesome because Americans love vets more than any other country, in my opinion. Other
yeah.
countries, they treated them like retards that couldn't go to college. Here, they respect vets, right? But I feel like the government doesn't help you that much. People are like, well, you get to eat free on Veterans Day.
No, that's facts. That's facts. The government doesn't take care of their
They
vets.
don't take care of us at all.
Oh no, it's definitely
No,
more glorified.
They do if you
nowadays.
retire.
Like, I have broken bones in my hands, and Minor fucking saw it happen, and I don't get disability because I have to go through a bunch of bullshit. Like, I have to get my own doctor to help me because their doctor's gonna be like, nah, bro, that's not service related. Like, it sucks, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, it's so
So you don't
great.
get free health insurance.
I get free care from them, but I can't go somewhere else and be like, hey, make them pay for it. You know what I mean? It's hard
So
as
you
hell
get
to
cheap,
get anything.
you get the cheap care.
You get
It's
the
basically
worst care, bro. They're like, you get free health care. Bro, you get a change of socks and ibuprofen. I'm being dead serious. That's what they tell you to do. Change your socks and here's some ibuprofen. I promise you, this is what a doctor will tell
That's
you.
wild.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
probably ask Minor too.
Yeah, ask Minor, bro. Change your socks and take an ibuprofen.
Change your socks.
You know what's the craziest part? I got 4 of my teeth taken out on the same day. Guess what they gave me as like a pain, whatever.
painkiller.
Strong ibuprofen. Like that's like really like if I get the cheap shit, I just have to take 4 of them to make it like prescription ibuprofen.
That's wild.
Yeah. I remember like one of the guys, he got shot in the hand and they gave him the same shit and he thought it was like cool. So he started like snorting it. Didn't give him an effect. So he said, you know what? Let's make it go straight into the bloodstream. And he cut himself and he started doing like this, like on the lines of like ibuprofen.
What the fuck?
It was hilarious. And then I didn't snitch on them because snitching is like going to the leaders. I just went to like a very sadistic guy and I was like, hey, my fucking roommate's like cutting himself and putting ibuprofen in his wounds. And then they like fucked him up because it was embarrassing. Not because it was wrong, because it was embarrassing.
That's wild.
Why are you acting up like this?
Get your shit together. Stop acting up.
Don't get us in trouble.
It wasn't even because it was embarrassing.
You're acting like a crackhead, bro. Stop.
It's not even that because there was actual crackheads there that did cocaine, but they were cool because they knew what they were
You're
doing.
acting worse than a crackhead.
Yeah, because
You're just acting weird at that point.
because you're acting like a druggie, but it's ibuprofen, and you're doing it the most.
Weirdest way.
The snorting was one thing, but cutting yourself, that's
Sometimes
like...
you just need to beat the sense into someone.
I love that guy. You know, he was a Mexican Nazi. I'm shit you not. Like Mexican as they come. You know, looked like an Azteca, but he would watch Nazi porn, and he was just like a full-blown Nazi. Like it was hilarious.
All right.
Yeah.
It's wild how close you get to people in the military that you know what kind of porn they're into.
Right.
No, he would tell me about it. He was like, they just...
I was like, I didn't ask. He just told me.
No, like we took shrooms and he was just like, man, I love watching Nazi porn where they piss on each other. It was just like,
What the fuck?
They piss on each other.
And on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in for this episode of Ramblings in the Basement.
That's how we're gonna end it.
come on, man, you can't end it like that. No, you can't.
Wait, what kind of porn do you guys watch? It's like,
Leave in the comments below. We'll like the ones that we agree with.
German and Russian porn.
yeah, I want to hear.
man.
I want to hear your screaming in
No,
Russian.
wait. I want to say something.
Two Alaskan bitches say mush.
Anyways,
What were we gonna say?
This was a really cool episode to come back on Red, and
that was a fun one for
yeah,
sure.
it was really cool. Yeah.
Hope the audience likes it because we enjoyed
And
recording it.
Yvonne's back.
We think it's
This is the
only
second
going to get
episode.
better
We
from
did the
here.
same
That's
one.
for sure.
Yvonne's back again.
We're going back to our roots, back to rambling.
You know, it's really funny because I
He's back.
actually
He
I got
wasn't
kicked off the
another
podcast originally too.
We did.
Yeah.
Man, why?
after like 3 episodes.
That's also why I'm a little extra hard on him sometimes.
But you
Why,
know
why,
what?
why
You
are
know
you
what?
airing out the dirty laundry, dog?
There's a whole drama behind it
Yeah.
because this
there's
podcast was
already a
started with
podcast
someone
about
else,
that.
Technically,
Technically, yeah.
Who was that guy? I want to know.
it was his cousin from his dad's side.
Where is
But he was holding
he's
the
a-
podcast back in a way.
Bro just told me to fuck off one day, literally.
he? Oh.
Pretty much.
Like, you
That'd be
can't be in it. Fuck off.
He was a very problematic person. That's all I'll say. We won't get too into it. We've already had an episode about it.
Yeah.
No, but I will
Last
say on
episode
that
was an
note,
issue.
Hard work certainly pays off because I kept coming and I kept trying.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I fucking love how motivated you are. Yeah, like real shit.
I was probably the most least motivated person here a year ago, and I think that's the big change too.
Dude, look at your shirt, though. That shit looks dope as fuck.
I love our
You got the
shirts.
merch out.
We were talking about that earlier.
I really want to get the symbol on the back of the shirts too, but
The big one, yeah.
Yeah, make it real big.
But no, we were talking about that too in the car. We were like let's rib, like let's listen to rib or like
Yeah.
it was catchy.
It is catchy. Like, imagine Miley Cyrus being like, yo, I'm finna be on Rib on Saturday.
Miley Cyrus. All right, you listening, Miley Cyrus?
Yeah,
About to get you on. Yo, speaking of, I might have some guests, some coworkers have asked about being on the podcast, so might
I was welcome.
Have you heard any episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
They're not welcome no more. Fuck you.
get the fuck out of here. So, haven't even done your research. Speaking of, that reminded me of another thing, but that's irrelevant. So let's end this podcast. I don't want to get into a rant. That's why.
All right, man.
Nah, get into the rant. Fuck
No,
it.
No. We've been
no,
recording for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Next Sunday.
And
Just tune in for next
yeah,
week.
next Sunday. Probably forget what I was gonna talk about, but it's fine. We'll have something else interesting to talk about. It's always something interesting.
We're gonna leave a cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Bye,
we're gonna
guys.
forget. All right.
Yeah.
This
I-
is Ramblers in the
no.
Basement. Thank you all
Continue to
for
ramble.
listening. Continue listening. I don't know what else, but thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is
guys.
Rib.
I don't endorse Nazi porn, by the way.
I do. Slate. All right, good night, guys.
Peace.